Hey Flosstube, it's Kerry in Stitches and welcome to this Flosstube Extra. This is where I go through the kitted up basket. Welcome if you're a new viewer, it's lovely to have you here, and welcome back if you're a returning viewer. And welcome if you don't have a nose or what's in my stash. I am recording this straight after what was last week's video. I'll show you what I've got. Most of them are nearly all kitted up. I mean, there are 2 or 3 that I need the odd thread for here and there, but all in all, they're all pretty good to go. I'm hoping to start most of these this year, maybe the start of next year. Yes, this basket may include my New Year, New Start, and possibly my birthday start, and you know, who knows? I'll just go with it when the mood takes me, but they're all ready to go. Some of these I've had in my kind of want to start list for a couple of years and haven't quite got round to it. Others are things that I've kind of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start that, and you know, that kind of thing. There's one more in here that there's a couple of things that I haven't kitted up, which I'd like to put in here too. So squash the eye. Yeah, it's good. I'll show you what I've got. Plans change. So I ran out of project bags, so I had to double up. So this is in my nice Not Enough Whip Bags bag, and this is, first of all, I've got Crow Halloween Pendibule by Durene Jones from her Etsy store. I've liked this for ages, but I only actually pulled the trigger on it when she had one of her 50% off sales. And I've just pulled a bit of splotchy dyed Aida from my stash. This is one that we've done with leftover tie-dye kit, and I'm assuming that's a 14 count. Can't possibly be 11. But anyway, and I'm just going to do that with DMC 310. If they require DMC, I haven't pulled the DMC. And the other project in the project bag is Festive Little Fobs Coffee Edition by Heartstring Samplery. And I'm actually going to stitch these in the same threads that I did for Coffee Time by Ink Circles, because my plan is to stand them on the shelf and hang them off the bottom and everything. So there we go for those. And I'm going to stitch them on a bit of Sparkly's Dr Smiths Tonic, and possibly scraps from the scrap bag if I need to. So, but it's kind of a similar colour. So we've got a couple of strawberries, a couple of mini cushions, there's a tiny drum. So lots of kind of creative ways to finish things, which I can put in here. So that's that. So that's also in this bag. Let's create a pile there. Okay, next up, this is an ongoing series that I'm doing from Blackbird Designs, Home for the Holidays. This book's been out a while now, so and I'm slowly working through the stockings. I've been doing, I don't think there's a picture of all of them together. There's a couple of them on the front. So these stockings, there's 5 of them in total, and I've been doing 1 a year. So I'm excited for this one. It's got lots of specialty stitches in it. I say lots, it's just basically got lots of Smyrnas, but I love me some Smyrnas. Let me just find something I can cover it up with. And my working cup is, it's that one. That whole heart flower thing at the top is all, in the middle is Smyrnas. So yay. So that's that one. And I'm not, okay, that's just stitched in one straight colour. Some of them have been stitched in 3 colours, hence my 3 here, which all kind of blending in. So I'm going to probably do that one in Baked Apple because I have a lot of it on there. So those are my colours for that. And I've done, all the stockings are all in slightly different reds, but I've just kept the same reds, and there is, what was it? Oh yes, there is some in here. No, there isn't. an empty packet. 36 count rolling in, and that's what they've all been stitched on. Okay, next up is what I'm calling the Blackbird bag, even though that was Blackbird. And I've got 3 projects in here. Long and Winding Road. I'm running out of neutral fabric, so I need to sort of replenish my stash, and I actually want to do that in the most of the call for, and I think I only had 2. Yeah, because I've got Oscar and I've got purple paint. Oh, purple paint, yeah. So my plan was to kit it up properly. So that's kind of, it's not on hold. It's going to be more likely to be next year when I start that one. But I've put it with it because it was with it the whole time. So can't stop thinking about Eleanor Rigby. Yeah, love that colourway. Also love that colourway. This may well be one that gets stitched twice, but I'm starting with that one. So I have kitted it up with, because I can't do things in a kind of normal way, and I will need to get some more DMC for a couple of these, but yeah, I didn't pull the spares box out yesterday, so. Oh, can't get that in. So my fabric choice for this, it's a bit out there, but it's Galaxy by Jodyri Designs. So my plan is, because it's only actually 6 by 6, let's just fold it the way it actually will fold, is to do it on kind of that bit, and those are the colours. So that's all greys and kind of brown greys and greys, and I just think it's going to look amazing on that. So that's my plan. That's Eleanor Rigby, and I think this stands a good chance of being my birthday start. Sounds a very good chance of being my birthday start. And oh no. And then we have Casting a Spell. And I'm stitching it. Oh, you didn't see that. I'm stitching this on, I believe this is Platinum. Okay, so yeah, Platinum Belfast, and I pulled a couple of the colours, and I've got a couple I need to order. So the orange is actually going to be Carrot, because I had Carrot. So there we go, that's so far, and I think I just needed to order a couple of the blacks. So yeah, so that'll be Casting a Spell. Okay, next up, this is a newer pattern into my stash, and I'm just going to do it in the jig. I was tempted to do it, this is Yonder by Hello From Liz Mathews. I was tempted to do it in the MPIs, but then I was kind of like, it's actually really quite a small chart, and do you know what? I don't know what this fabric is. That's what I'm doing it in, and that's what I'm doing it on. I'm just going to do the DMC conversion, so I haven't pulled threads for it. I might, when I pull DMC, I possibly might put some overdyes in, but that's not the plan at the moment. I only did this a couple of days ago and I've forgotten half the things already. Okay, so we've got Wreath House by Hands On Design, and I will be doing the full triptych, which is in here. I don't think I'm going to do the words at the bottom though. And I've just pulled some colours and just, I love this blue in here, and I love the grey of the roof. So I'm going to order those two, and I've just pulled some others. So there we go. That's for that, and I'm going to do it on this 32 count something or other, which I thought was quite close to the call for. So, and I think the white will certainly pop on that, and come on, more fingers and thumbs. That looks really good. So that is my plan for that. And if you're watching last week, this is the Beachcomber collection by Durene Jones for Cross Stitcher 386. And I'm just going to write that on, because in a year's time, when I've stitched a tiny bit of a lighthouse, I'm going to want to know what magazine it came from. But there we go. And that's, I've just pulled, because it was in my stash, just some white Murano. And it's DMC, so I shall do the call for that. A lot of these DMC I may end up having to order extra DMC, but it's only DMC, so I have options. And I wait till I get Hobbycraft vouchers, and then I will just buy them from that. Santa strips. This was 2020 Barbara Anna Stitch Along. That's one of them, that's part one. And I loved the houses, but didn't end up loving the people and the animals. There we go. I didn't end up loving that. So I'm just going to stitch the 4 houses, because I love me a house. And that's my plan. And I might stitch Mr. and Mrs. Claus in the middle. But my plan is just the 4 houses. So I stitch my ornament, Harvest Blush by Sparkles, that's an 18 count, and again DMC. Oh. Another one that's been on the to stitch list, and this is one I didn't get around to last year, and this is Birds of a Feather Summer Home. I forgot what it's called then. And if I remember rightly, pretty much half of the colours come from cardinal points. So my plan, and I have got, I'm going to say slightly nutty. It looks like a sparkly slightly nutty. I don't know, I haven't got it in here. So I'm basically going to wait until I finish cardinal points, and then I will start this. So I feel like I'm being sensible. Giant finish, but a little teeny tiny, because it is only 61 by 61. So yes, my epic fail. So these were, you saw this at the beginning of the year, and these are all my the freebies that I wanted to do, and my plan was to do one a month. I managed January, so I've kept them all kitted up, and we've got, so it's February, March, April, oh, I can't split in May, June, July, August, September, I think there were a few, maybe I didn't have plans for the rest of the year, I don't know, but there we go, there might be some stuck together. And I was going to pretty much stitch them all on the DMC, the Zweigart Petit Point, and I pulled a couple of colour and cottons and a couple of weeks for greens. So that was my basic colour palette, and I'd have just added in things as I needed. But I epically failed. And we're in July, and I just don't seem to have the time to do them. So, but they're staying kitted up. Okay. Oh, needle minder down. Next up, we have spooky string, snowy string, and spring string, which I fully intended to get to this year and didn't. So we're going to go in the order we're going in is spooky, snowy, spring. And my intention is to do one a season and get them done this year, but apparently that is impossible and I can't. And there's my fabric. So there you can see that is the Thanksgiving string, which also works nicely as an autumn one. And I have a big piece of Star Sapphire, plenty enough to do all of them because they don't take that much. Yeah, definitely got enough to do all of them on that. So I haven't pulled threads. Because they don't tend to take a lot, and they often use a lot of the weeks. Let's have a look. Black coffee. Okay, you've got that. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, maybe I have. Carrot, I've got graphite, gold, grasshopper, grits. So yeah, so I have half the colours already, and I will just pull things from my stash that will work because you don't need a lot of them. So hence my post-it note of threads, reminding me I still need to finish kitting it up. And then we have this was a pasta stash. This is Welcome by the Sweetheart Tree, and this is on whatever was in the kit. And that's the start. Oh, there's the start. So Sharon brought this and decided she wasn't going to stitch it. And I think that welcomes over one, if I remember rightly. It's got some beads and and a charm. What's the charm? It's got a little flower charm and DMC, which I must waft it up. But yeah, I think that's all over one, that middle bit. And with Sweetheart Tree patterns, you need to follow the instructions. So you basically, because they often like that, you have to follow it row by row. So I haven't really looked at this. I'll show you this one. You probably don't have to. Like the one I did, which you can't see, it's over there. You had to follow it. We started in the middle and no, you start on the outside edge and you work your way in, which seems to be what they're suggesting here. Anyway, I'll get to it. It's on my we're nearly done. Just those to go. So we have got You're Okay, I Guess by Bendy Stitchy Designs, and I have got Burnt Umber by Sparklies. That's an 18 count, and my plan for this is I might pull a variegated red for the heart in the middle, but the rest is going to be DMC because it's not one variegated green, it's two. So I had some of the called for, and some of the called for needed to go in other projects, so I just went, you know what, other projects. I'm embracing the DMC. I love fancy floss, but sometimes you just need to go, do you know what, DMC. And then, despite the fact that I wasn't intending, I didn't bin this, and you might be able to see it in the flowers, silk flowers that are there. I didn't know what to do with the butterfly that I put in when I stitched that butterfly, and I just kind of stuck it in a kebab skewer, stuck it in. I thought, and I keep looking at it, going, do you know what? I quite like that. And I didn't chuck out the other one, which is the blue one, which is the simpler of the two as well. So, and it is sorry, excuse me while I work out how big it is. 10, 20, like 25 by 25 is, you know, it's tiny. And I've probably got enough thread for it. So I was just kind of, do you know what? That's probably not big enough for a scrap of Aida now, but I thought I might as well just stitch it and be done with it. So that'll be an anytime kind of project. When I did my Valentine's smalls, when I found the ones on storypiece.net, they actually had a couple of others. One, so I did the XOXO, and she has 3 stacked hearts and arrows. So I just thought I won't do them in those colours, but I just realised it's in a Christmas bag. But I still, this is me with my fabric scraps. I had that piece left which is big enough for it, and I had that piece left which is big enough for the hearts. So, which was just 3 hearts stacked on top of each other. So, and I'd kept the threads that I'd used, which is insert random DMC here, which isn't going to be enough looking at it, but some white, 6 strand sweets and cherry pie, and whatever that grey was, a grey I shall put in, and I'm going to just finish them off in a coordinating fashion for Valentine's Day. I probably will stop. This will probably be start next year, realistically. And last but by no means least, was a birthday present last year from Sharon, is Come Sit a Spell by Blackbird. It's called Blackbird, isn't it? Not by Blackbird. It's by Mill Hill. I keep calling it Come Sit, and it's Come Stitch. So I'm going to start that at some point. I'm going to keep trying to do Mill Hill Mondays, so this is going to be my next Mill Hill start, which I think I'm going to start in August. So obviously I've got all my Halloween and Valentine's Day and Christmas bags. So that's those. I need to go and change the title on my list, going to my show notes, but everything's listed down below. If you've got any of them that I've shared today, if you've got any and you fancy a start along, just drop me a comment, message me on Instagram, and I'd love to start it with you, and we could sort out a date that works. I'm going to try and do a 1 in 1 out policy for those guys, because I think I worked it out to be 17 there. So that would take my whips to 40. And that is just too many for me. That's just kind of like, that's far too many. I can't deal with 40. So I'm going to go for 1 in 1 out. But I'm really trying to work through some of the medium-sized projects. I've got a few things that are kind of, if I'd put a week into them, probably could be done. So I should get some. I'll probably have startitis around November, and I generally do. And then kind of in the run up to Christmas, I think last year and the year before, I ended up starting, 6 or I think I had 5 starts in November last year and a couple in December, and the same in the previous year too. Although because of COVID the previous year, I ended up didn't start my November ones, and it's kind of like 1 every 3 days. But that's a whole different story. So yeah, if you've got something, leave me a message, and we can have a start along together. I hope you enjoyed my things I've got kitted up parade. I'm excited to start these. I think there's a whole variety of projects, some bigger than others, some teeny tiny. So take care, friends, and I will see you all next week for a regular update. Happy stitching. Bye bye.